Hello all, I'm Riku Hietamäki from GearMotive. I'm the CEO of GearMotive and running the development and production side for our company. Today I'm going to talk about our new product, ZF Sequential Gearbox. This product we have been developing for many years already. Idea was to try to learn the new techniques for producing the gearboxes, meaning that we would like to possibly manufacture our own housing, manufacture the sequential drum that is used for shifting the gears, and the other types of new product methodologies. Also, we thought that we want to proceed slowly, as all these things are quite new for us. So we wanted to go in small steps. And for that reason, we thought that we are going to reuse as much parts from the ZF S5D transmission and the ZF S5D dogbox that we had already in our production. Basically, it meant that we tried to reuse the gear set and bell housing at least. And from that point of view, we started working with the new development. In the beginning, we designed our first version actually by using the original rear housing as well. We had ready-made design and we started making the prototypes using the original rear housing, but very soon after we noticed that it's not the right way to proceed. First of all, we tried to just modify the original rear housing, and that caused big issues in the production. The problems with the measurements and everything staying in a shape. Our first design also took much more space under the car, so it was not that optimal after all. Positive side of our first design was that we were able to install the position sensor in the end of the sequential drum. Now, as we are using the original ZF housing, we had the problem that we were not able to install the position sensor in the bell housing side, because then we would have needed to modify the original bell housing as well. So that was not the option. So we had to install the position sensor in the end of the rear housing. And for that reason, we had to use a certain type of mechanism to rotate the drum. And that took much more space than we would have wanted to. After we had made our first prototypes, we actually started prototyping by using the hybrid version of 3D plastic printed parts and original aluminum parts. And well, the printed parts, they gave a good idea how things are working out, but after all, they were not working that well. So we started replacing the printed plastic parts with the real steel or aluminum parts, and all the time the mechanism was starting to work better and better. But eventually we figured out that it's not going to work out well, so instead we would need to manufacture the rear housing ourselves, a new rear housing. And once we decided to do that, we also decided that we need to redesign all this mechanism stuff. And we started from the blank table, kind of. We still had the problem that where could we install the position sensor? how would we be able to find out which gear is currently on and how the drum is rotating. Then we got the idea to use a different kind of sensor and locate the sensor on the side of the transmission housing instead of positioning it in the end of the housing, in the end of the drum, like usually they are done. And from that idea, our success towards the new housing model started. That idea provided us to redesign the mechanism and make it even much more smaller space than our first prototype version, and it was much cleaner looking setup. Once we had this new design idea, we started thinking about what shape of housing would work best. We went through all the different options, like making a round shape housing. Round shaped housing would be easy to done from the pipe, aluminum pipe, big pipe. We also went through the options of using the extruded aluminum to make the aluminum pipe kind of straight to the right shape. It would be kind of easy option to proceed as you can manufacture the extruded aluminum shape object and then just install the plates on the end of the box. However, we also inspected the option to make the full billet machined housing, but after all, we saw that cast aluminum housing would be the best option. It allows us to make many different shapes. It's still a cost-effective method to manufacture the housing, and which also will reflect to customer price. And there are very good aluminum materials available for the casting as well. So it was quite clear that that's the option how to proceed. However, we didn't have any experience about casting aluminum, or well, I had done some my own tests earlier by manufacturing some adapter plates between the engine and gearboxes, etc. like this, but we didn't have any kind of real experience about manufacturing those casting parts. So it was a really long process to understand and learn how to design the parts for the casting itself, what kind of aluminums to use, what other features are needed from the aluminum and the cast part so that it can work, and also to find out the right suppliers for us who can deliver us the products that we need. So now we had the idea of the housing shape we wanted, and actually because we decided to stay with the cast housing, we were able to manufacture the housing size to match pretty much the original ZF housing. So we started the design work, and finally we were able to produce a ZF Sequential, which is a bolt-on option to replace the original ZF S5D gearbox. Sequential box, it's having the same output flange, the yoke in the gearbox. It's the same length, and it's having the same rear mounts in the housing. So basically it's very easy installation. It's only one evening job to replace your existing box with our sequential box. No prop shaft modifications needed, no tunnel. The chassis tunnel modifications are needed. and not any big modifications are needed. So everything is very easy to install. Also, there's no extra costs coming from the install work itself. And our sequential price in general, it's very well priced. So and in addition, when it's easy to install, it's very affordable option for all the drivers out there. So what was most challenging with our new product? Basically the new production methods, like for the sequential drum and for the housing production, they were quite complicated tasks. But after all, the housing production, it's definitely the most challenging task in our new development project. We have long background already manufacturing the ZF H pattern dog boxes. We have in-house heat treatment processes, and basically all the processes can be done in-house. So we had very good experience on the many of the tasks that are related on the ZF sequential box, but the housing itself, it was a new thing for us. So it was really challenging, and it takes a lot of development time.
No niin, nyt eka versio 2 Proto testi. Versio 2 Proton ensimmäinen pykälystesti. Tää on väärä suunta näköjään. Sinne meni. Ja pakki olisi tullut.
Oi vaan.
I'm very happy that how we ended up with our new product. It's kind of fulfilling all the requirements that we had. Our idea was not to change everything. We wanted to keep something old and develop something new, so we got what we tried to. From now on, it's very easy task for us to proceed even further, to make the full billet housing, to increase the shaft distances, to make the harder gears or stronger gears or stronger gearboxes or anything. Now we know how the process goes, so it's easier now to develop new things, but it's been a huge step for us to bring this new product to market. Here in GearMotive, we want to try to think things differently. We want to try to make something different. We want to make things that stand out, so that we are not just the one within the mass. We want to have something unique, something different. So this new product is something different. And in addition, with the gearbox itself, we have developed our own shifter and the electronics kit. The shifter is also kind of unique design. We have integrated the shift cut option into the shifter itself. Our electronic kit, it's able to detect when the shifter is pulled or pushed, so it can detect the strain of the shifter lever itself. In addition, we have a touchscreen display. From the touchscreen display, you can see the current gear position, and you can configure the shift cut options, like the sensitivity for the shift cut, for instance. In the first stage, our electric kit is able to control the shift cut for the aftermarket ECUs, but we are also working on that the electric control module could control the shift cut with the stock ECUs. And it's a very huge benefit for those who are running with the stock ECU and they would like to have a sequential with the shift cut. They don't need to buy any external boxes or systems to make it happen. So we can offer it integrated into our gearbox and the shifter. The gear set itself, it's been proven to work on drifting, drag racing, for instance, but it's been very famous also in rally and circuit, for instance. So it's a kind of multifunctional gearbox which you can put in many different type of racing. For instance, in drifting and drag racing, the gearbox and gearset itself has handled over 1,100 Newton meters. And it's been very successful also in drag racing. With our gearset, customers have been able to reach under 9-second times in a quarter mile. And in drifting, customers are driving around the world in their drifting cars and have won many of the championships on national levels. In addition, our gearset has been run on the European Drift Series. Now this gearset has been combined with the sequential mechanism with the new housing, new lever, shift lever, and the other options around. So it will be providing even much more performance for the customers. We hope that customers are keen on the new product, and the new product will bring a lot of more fun to driving and even more success. I also hope that the gearbox will be used in many different racing classes around the world. We are very busy preparing all the parts and production to be able to deliver the new gearboxes. And the preparing work still takes some time, so for that reason the deliveries will start around January-February timeline. We can't wait for you to try out the new sequential box, and we are keen to know what you think. It's been a long process, but now it's ready. Drive to success with GearMotive Sequential.
Hello, today we are here in Nivala Pidisjärvi Lake testing Hempa's BMW M3. We have installed here our first prototype sequential gearbox, and today we are driving some tests here to see how everything works, and I hope it will be a successful day.